All right. Well, let's talk about how to turn your existing programs and services into digital products. So, if you are a coach, consultant, service provider, speaker, author, no matter what, you've been selling something out there, whether it's done for you work or you have programs, you can absolutely turn your existing programs and services into digital products. The first thing you have to do is you need to identify your existing programs and services. So it starts by, I'm old school, okay? So I am a person that use notebook and pen still, and then I transfer it into technology. So, list out all your current offerings from coaching programs, workshops, or your consulting services, whatever it is. And then what you want to do is you want to assess which ones have the potential to be turned into digital products. So, assessing your digital product viability is actually pretty easy, okay? The more check boxes you could tick off for a particular program or service, the more viable it is as a potential digital product. So, you first want to ask yourself, is this content structured and modular, right? So, can it be broken down into lessons, modules, or chapters? It probably is already broken down, right? And so, you might have, like for me, my market your message program is a full program, right? And it's already broken down into modules. Let's say I wanted to create a digital product just on storytelling. I could say, okay, well, I'm going to pull this module and I'm going to start to repurpose it into a digital product, right? And so, can it be broken down into lessons, modules, or chapters? And is there a logical flow or progression to the material? Okay. If you answer yes to those, you have a viable product. The next thing is the content evergreen or regularly updated. Okay. So, does the content have a long shelf life and can it be easily updated with new information or examples? So, I'm going to give you an example. I created I used to sell a course, one of my best selling courses a long time ago. When I was, first started, I don't know how much you know about my story, but I am a coach, but I started selling digital products. Okay. So I used to start with selling $15 webinar replays and a $5 checklist. I started with selling MRR and PLR products that I rebranded as my own and created my own products. Right. And so I used to sell a course called Instagram for Profits. I used to be really big on Instagram. One of the creators with the bigger pages before I got hacked and decided to leave the platform. And so I created a course called Instagram for Profits. Now, I that would not be considered a viable product, even though I could have continued to update it over the years. I didn't. I actually left the platform. I actually stopped being known for teaching Instagram and became a high ticket coach. And so that's not a product that to me has a long shelf life, right? Because the reality is that the Instagram algorithms, they're always changing. And so if I'm not updating the course, then the course will no longer be relevant. So you want to think about that, right? The next thing, excuse me, is there enough depth and substance to the content? So how deep can you go? Can it provide comprehensive coverage of the topic? Is there enough material to warrant a standalone product? These are the things that you want to think about. And lastly, is there a potential for scalability and passive income? So, can the product be sold and delivered automatically, right? So, for example, this right here, this would not be a viable product if I continued it as a boot camp, right? Because it's required for me to be in a community for 30 days supporting people, right? And so this would be considered a live thing, right? Versus after the boot camp is done and we fix this thing up as a course and add more to it and have it as a full course. Now this is something that can be sold and delivered automatically, right? Can it be priced at a level that allows for scalable revenue? Absolutely. Because not only can I sell the Silent Success course as a course that we're going to be selling for, I believe it's going to be $199. That's where we're going to start, right? but we're also going to be able to package it. We're also going to be able to do a lot of things with this as I continue to grow, right? And so those are the things that you want to think about to figure out if this is a product that's viable or not. So let's talk about repurposing your content. Again, you're going to take inventory of everything that you have. I want you to look at, any training manuals and workbooks that you may have, any presentations and slides, videos and recordings. Like, for example, I have one of my boot campers that mentioned that she joined a workshop with me that I did many years ago called How to Create Your Irresistible Offer. And she said up until now, she's still using it, which is even what made her feel like trusting enough to join this boot camp, right? And so from her saying that and me also knowing that that's one of my best sellers on my Market Your Message site, I've actually decided that I'm going to transcribe that training. It's a 2-hour training, and I'm going to turn it into a guide, right? And so now what that's going to allow me to do is a couple of things, because we're already selling the training right now. I don't want to get to lying, so I'm not even going to tell you how much it is, but it is on the website, marketyourmessage.net. It's already a product. And it's a 2-hour training, and it comes with the irresistible offer template, as well as one of my irresistible offers mapped out. So you see an offer mapped out in its entirety. That's what I sell. But now when I transcribe it, not only can I sell a guide, like let's say that the workshop itself is $200. Now I can sell a guide, and the guide might only be 30 something dollars. It's still teaching what's in this workshop, but it's a guide. So it's going to be targeting someone who rathers guides over videos. I can also bundle it, right? So I can also say, here, you can buy the video for, the training for $100, but if you want the this and the this and the this bonus, this is the package, right? So there's so many things that I could do with that. When it comes to repurposing, that's what repurposing looks like. You can think of the worksheets and templates you have, as well as any client homework and exercises that you do. Okay. All right.